We can't just go to Horizon and
Bonfires,
A
malt
forest, they
beer.
said. A forest.
we can't
Uh,
just go to Horizon and have the mages there help us with a stealthy entry into the city.
Would they?
I think
Oh,
so.
no mages. But if you believe they would, then that seems like a workable solution as well.
is
Not
there
taxing
really?
my people with it would
I
be
don't see
fine.
anything stealthy about teleporting. Isn't it much of a ruckus and
I have never tried
lights
it.
and
I
noises?
I've never
Teleportation
tried.
is an epic tier spell. So it's only available in certain circumstances. Something along the lines of that would probably have you folks gaining an audience with someone in Horizon, which you could either expend Archmage dice or political power for, or do some role playing for.
I'm sure sheep's got it covered.
Maybe we should just take a boat. I don't want to have to grovel to epic tier mages to.
I will grovel for every team mages if it's for the good cause. I mean, I care about.
But can you do epic tier groveling?
Also, the thing is, if we go by boat, we can control our stealthy entry, while otherwise we would have to rely on the expertise of the mages.
The Dragonhall Harbor is pretty much frozen over.
The expertise of the epic tier mages.
Just because they are epic tier doesn't mean they are subtle.
That means they're better than us.
But I was thinking we could go with the warships and they could drop us off here somewhere and we could just take a robot inland and
And then go to the forest and approach from the north.
just
Or
go.
you could take the road and head in from the
Guys,
west.
come on.
That's right next to us.
Yeah, that's a possibility as well. I have not approached Dragonhole before. I do not know how difficult it is to get into the city unseen, or how difficult it is to get to the Silver Worm without teleportation.
As a reminder, the Aurelia and Geráck would certainly know this. The Tower of the Great Silver Worm is a little island unto itself, and it is currently located in the southeastern portion of Dragonhall. So if you approach by ship, you could pretty much go straight there, assuming that the harbor wasn't frozen over. It'll be treacherous navigation.
Speed.
And especially, people are going to take note of the fucking warships.
Could you walk over the ice to the little island?
Sure. I mean, there's like
I
little
don't know
barges
if
that
Geráck
normally
can.
go there, but
That was a problem last time, wasn't it?
that was one of the problems.
How do
yes.
we get over the water?
I remember that discussion along with others.
Championship people can't swim.
You guys were adventurers here at the time.
Can't we get like an icebreaker ship to just clear the way?
I think those are all in use.
Yeah. Or they might not even exist, I don't know.
Come on.
They probably...
This
But
really
it's-
is. This typically is not a problem. The Midland Sea is usually temperate and mild, even in winter. This whole ice forming thing, the Empire is not prepared for this.
Yeah,
The
it
closest thing
basically-
to ice that most people have seen in the water is the Bergship Raiders.
One thing we can expect, though, is for there to be pretty racially united communities in Dragonhole. Now, I imagine not many people want to bunk with the guy who wants to eat you. So, sweets might be camping together more than they even did before. Then again, either way seems workable. Going straight there seems workable, but though probably not gathering attention to ourselves would be.
Yeah, we're so good at that.
Going to Horizon and getting teleported right to the tower, that would be pretty great too.
I mean, that
If
would.
Aurelia thinks that they can bring us right there.
I mean,
Probably have to expend some power points in doing that, or
Yes,
nice with the
definitely.
Archmage.
they've implied as much, but getting teleported into Dragonhall, into the court of the Mistress of Sorcery, the blue, that's probably going to get noticed too.
Yeah, and the
Maybe
problem
more
is,
so than other methods.
The problem is also how do we get back if we do that option?
Well,
You don't. I mean, go back no matter what.
well,
right?
you could just have someone else who goes with you and didn't teleport you back.
Sure,
That's
if
what
they agree to do that.
that's what's suggested in Aurelia's head.
Okay, then we get someone to teleport.
Really,
us
the
there.
presence just wants her to go back to Horizon.
My head suggested that,
Sure.
that it doesn't like all this cold. I mean,
there's bound to be like refugees flocking to Dragonhall at this point as well.
No, I don't think they would go to Dragonhall. You get eaten in Dragonhall.
Yeah, probably go to Conquer
Hungry
instead.
bugbears and gnolls are not generally a good thing for refugees.
I mean, I'm not saying that there's many smart refugees going to Dragonhall.
You folks got a glimpse of how safe and stable Dragonhall was before things got even worse.
Yeah.
On the bright side, I don't imagine the food shortage is that big of a deal for the monstrous races. The rest of them, maybe.
Well, they're probably running low on sweet meat anyway. And the ones that are left are probably all the strong ones who can protect themselves.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Like
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah. And you're not going to poach on the kobolds, right? Because
They don't have meat on them anyway.
yeah, and they're
So
also
what do,
groups.
guys?
So what's it going to be? Dragonhall Part 3?
I think it's gonna be Dragonhall Part 3.
You guys go to the slave market? Oh, memories.
Let's buy some food.
Is anyone here interested in purchasing a Tempus? Oh my god, that'd be a great place actually. He wakes up at the slave market. Oh my god.
Been there before.
He wakes up there. I'm having a sense of deja vu.
We're looking for friends.
Jinzaros is standing there.
Let's. We can certainly sell there. I don't have no problem with that. Going to Horizon seems more difficult, but if Aurelia is so sure, yeah, I mean, she seemed to have some connections there last time we were there. So
Sure, but Geráck was there with her, and it took a long time to do anything. And all the
It was
bureaucracy was
a
just
week or so, maybe two, of
a
horrid
week of constant
bureaucracy.
headaches.
Plus
How
the
nice.
teleportation.
that you two can decide.
It was not a pleasant affair, and I would rather have to rely on my own skills in approaching Dragonhall stealthily rather than that of the mages, especially since using powerful magic to enter the city is bound to get noticed far more than people entering it.
But it's already nexus of powerful magic anyway, right? What's a little blip or two?
Or 4 very large ones. 5 even.
That's like one spell, so I mean, like...
But
I
sure, the
imagine it would
mages
be
have
like
more
a
important
large
stuff to
firework
do with their
display in the middle
magic,
of
right?
Dragonhall. So, ship then?
I think so.
Okay.
Old vessel.
You people think are best? Yeah, sure.
So, where's your ship currently located?
I think in Newport.
It left, right? Because we set it to leave.
Live to where? What?
They're
Our ship?
in the Core Straits, yeah. Well,
But
our ship is like fucking in Foothold, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We buy a new ship.
That costs money.
Yes,
Your ship and the trained crew is chilling
I
for
think
all.
the
Could've
train
just-
crew left. Honestly, they were like, "No, we're
Could we
not
just
sailing
spend
down yet. That's
Die
fine."
or something to get a ship like on 5s with the Emperor or something.
I mean, you can probably purchase a ship without
Sure.
or hire a ship anyway.
Yeah.
Though sailing to Dragonhall might not be a great.
No,
But again,
you
there's something going there.
could use one of your 5. I don't have a problem with using a 5 with the Emperor to get yourself a hold of a sturdy, reliable vessel with a crew that can take you to the Dragonhall area and back.
It's a 5.
I am scared of
It-
5.
one of those adjectives are not there.
What would it cost in terms
Sturdy, reliable. Which
you're,
one is
You're
first?
using Jasmine's connection with the Emperor. Perhaps.
But could we also use money?
I mean,
instead?
you could possibly use money. Ship rarity is certainly a premium, though. For, hiring out a vessel with crew, goodness. You might be looking at, especially for a trip to Dragonhall, you might be looking at fucking, 50 gold. No one wants to go to Dragonhall. The frozen harbor, with all the sea monsters around, and the Corsairs, although those are not just a problem anymore.
I don't mind either way.
You know, you guys, 5s, I know I have connection.
I know we've kind of been scarred.
Yeah. Also, what do we need to get when we face to him?
What?
What should we get before we face to him?
I don't know anything about them.
Sheep stepped away from the computer, Goger.
You're like, they're using a 5. Oh, God.
Ah,
Like, would you rather use a 5 or slash your wrist? Like, let me think of that.
What the shit?
It's not that
50
bad.
gold isn't that much.
Guys, it's not that bad. The last time I used a 5, I just happened to be having loads of amazing colors.
50
Yeah,
gold
let's-
will be enough for basically like some folks to like deliver you to the Dragon Hall area. You're gonna have
And
to get
what-
Guys
transportation
might
back.
get us people who care enough about
Yeah. What
actually
would be the,
bringing us to the place where we need to go.
yeah, what would be the consequences of the 5 if we choose to do that?
We don't know.
We don't know. Alright, sure.
I mean, you know, maybe someone's going to call it one of Jasmine's favors or something. Who knows?
It would be more fun to use the 5, just for
Let's
drama's sake.
just do that. Yeah. We have 'em.
Alright,
Let's
we'll
use
just
them.
blow it off the table.
Connections.
You guys can get a sturdy enough, reliable ship.
So remember how you owe me some favors? Let's discussion.
Captained by a Captain Cullimore, with whom none of your current characters have any affiliation or connection.
But Leon did. Wait, what?
Let's see, we might also want to buy some things before we leave, actually.
What do you have in mind?
Like a rune or something. Or an oil.
Oh, sure.
Just gonna check what they actually cost.
Well, it depends what. Let's have a look.
I'm gonna buy, let's see. I'm gonna buy champagne tier oil.
Okay.
Yes.
Oil.
What do these runes cost again?
A lot.
That's very evocative. They cost
300
300 gold piece for champion tier.
Well,
And do keep in mind that the bonuses they give you do not stack with the bonuses that a magic item itself might give you.
it will be to
Ridiculous.
stick it on my armor, basically.
That's what Geráck does.
I'll get one
Yes.
of those.
Might be good.
How are you guys doing on your recoveries out of curiosity right now?
Not well.
3.
Yep, 3.
So we need kobolds before we fight with him.
Well, I
Uh,
can drink you guys' recoveries when I heal. So,
That's true, you can drink of mine.
yeah.
I can't.
Well, I can heal you with hers.
Ah, that's true. So we're fine.
Well, for the two
Jasmine
heals,
is the recovery bank.
Yes, for the two of them.
who go up to the like blood drain machine.
I don't think if that's how you're wording it, I don't think I can
No.
agree. But, the other thing, of course, is I can take some hits.
Yep. But then we just set off, I guess.
Okay. As a warning, Dragon Hall is a highly dangerous environment. The typical rules of the Imperial government don't really work so well in Dragon Hall because the Blue, Mistress of Sorcery, is the Imperial Governor of Dragon Hall. And lawlessness can be rampant, as well as folks imposing their will and making their own rules. Now, you voluntarily have gone here twice. So I think
Yes.
you might remember that.
Well, time to make it thrice.
You guys remember back when you guys wanted to start your own gang?
Yes, in
That
fact.
was fun times.
Do that.
No, we're
I've
now
not done
missing our
that in my
headquarters.
life.
We're now missing our headquarters.
I
You have to
used
buy a
live
new
there.
headquarters.
Oh.
We had one. It seems to have been stolen. Actually, no, we gave it away. Then it got stolen. But
Yes. Yeah.
Claimed.
All right, so Lord Anator sets off with the 2 units of Imperial warships to try and establish safer
Reluctantly.
naval trading lanes. Yeah. The Imperial Engineers and Lady Mora are in Proud Fort, slowly beginning the reconstruction there. Ulysses the Stout has taken his paladins to Kavanaugh. And you wonderful folks, spending Jasmine's relationship, and they are familiar with the good that she has done. Imperial Scout, tell me a story, Dark. Tell me a story of how your 5 is used.
Well, Jasmine has spent a lot of time. She spent most of her life in Newport, or at least definitely always been connected to it. So in the Heights, or as unfortunately noble business, there are some nobles who she has some favors she's built up over time from her various dealings over there, and well, one of them happens to have a lot of connections with trade, especially down in the port, and well, pulling on a few favors from the past, maybe even, well, Jasmine's not above blackmail necessarily. Regardless, however, through a bit of political maneuvering, has managed to convince them to loan them the ship and crew for a short time.
Okay. So it is done.
And it's going to bite me later.
As you folks there is no requirement of thing that you must do. This is a temporary loaning, and they'll take you to Dragon Hall, and maybe they can take you from Dragon Hall. They can perhaps wait around several days. I don't want to wait around too long. No one wants to wait around too long and get impressed into some government imperial service. Fucking kobolds will just, like, come up and say, "You're gonna help the blue." No! Can't say no. I mean, you
You're
can.
gonna be food now.
Alright. As you begin sailing out from Newport, once again, heading for Dragon Hall.
And
like
on,
to- I
on
like
the
to
way
remember
there, I'd assume that Aurelia would be more than happy to share some of her insights on how to behave in certain situations in Dragonhall, and why wearing a plate mail with the insignias of the Great Gold Worm might not be the best idea if we wish to stay
That
undisturbed.
is not on his armor.
Okay.
You know, what are the
It's,
insights that
Dwarf.
Aurelia has to share? How should one behave in Dragon Hall?
Probably when you, things like when you get stopped on the street by some burly guy, make sure that he realizes that you are in fact the stronger of the two, and essentially just etiquette that is probably quite the opposite to most other cities. Meaning that you want other people to realize that they shouldn't fuck with you. Politeness has its places, especially if you are talking to someone who you think might be able to get the better of you if it came to that, but usually it's good when people respect you, and if they don't, you make them respect you.
Okay.
So, and then there's certain areas where you as Swedes probably shouldn't go alone, and if you do, then make sure to watch your back
What did you
and
call us?
things like that.
Is that racist? That's racist.
Yes, it is in fact very racist. Dragonhall is racist. Surprise.
The Empire is racist.
I mean,
Everyone is racist.
yeah. You Unbloods don't even know what we.
In Dragonhall, you get it.
Internet hiccup. Hold on, folks. I'm sure it'll be alright.
Sure, if we have time. I imagine it will take a while.
Okay, so on your way from Newport to Dragonhall, the seas aren't as calm as they once were back when you first made your first very own seaboat trip. No, I don't have a combat map to slap down and trick you folks. But as it turns out, this ship is ill-fitted to handle the aquatic perils of the icebergs and the horrible
That was the
storms of
complication.
the Midland Sea. And so what I want you folks to do, as the crew is ravaged by a particular storm and several individuals are wounded and the ship is damaged, for you all to put your heads together for a traveling across the Midland Sea to Dragonhall skill challenge.
Yeah.
How will you folks ensure the safety and security of your party and actually reaching your destination in a timely manner, as the wind and the elements fight against you?
This was the complication. Jasmine was given a shitty ship.
Now we got to make a skill challenge, man.
Well, I already kind of have my idea actually for how I might want to handle the skill challenge.
Okay.
I can open it up.
Alright,
So-
let's hear it.
So, okay, so Jasmine, now I admittedly has never before captained a ship.
Okay.
But however, she has directed people before, especially in times of absolute crisis, such as the time when her scouts were completely isolated from the rest of the army and decimated by orcs, and she had to essentially improvise and direct the entire team to survive, directing them around obstacles, and just keeping everyone organized, calm, and coherent. Well, she
Alright.
herself has the expertise. She has, she can try and keep a group under control.
I like it, a leadership approach. You can use your charisma modifier along with the full background in your level.
Yes.
We're looking for a DC 20. You're almost epic tier. You can do that. Yes.
Yay.
Jasmine is able to direct people to trying to take care of what's the worst problems with all of this shit, even though she doesn't really understand the problems herself. Who else?
Right. So you said some people got injured or wounded or something.
Yes, the storming. It's terrible, rocking the ship to and fro. The ship's even cracked a bit in places. It's awful. I'm going to keep
Alright.
using this voice for the wonderful skill challenge.
So Geráck, not knowing anything about sailing or repairing ships or
You don't
whatever,
say.
no, he will use his knowledge of healing to try to heal the injured people. Basically, if they get the broken limbs, try to bandage them up or...
Knowledge of healing. What does he have this from?
He has this from Student of the Blessed Halls.
That completely makes sense. You can use your full background and a wisdom modifier, or intelligence modifier if you so desire.
It doesn't matter, I think. I will.
Okay. And your
Plus
level.
2 anyway.
DC 20. Alright, look at you.
Yes.
Let's just use the commands the people and heals the people, so the cleric commander has got nothing to fucking do.
You can assist Geráck and
I know, they're fucking like, they're infringing
Taking
on
my
your...
stuff.
Well, I can't really do anything else.
Talk to the union.
I've been a military captain. What can I say?
What? I couldn't really do anything else.
I suppose I can wield the divine power of the elven goddess to bring us forth to the city of Dragonhall, so that this, really abomination of life can be removed and eradicated. And so our purpose, if it is true and just, can be carried out in such a way.
Alright. What inspiring words will, like the divinity, like what blessings or sayings will Aranas give the people?
Well, it's not so much as the people as him beseeching the goddess for like
What
magical
will,
aid.
how will he beseech the goddess? What will he say to her?
He will, it's sort of in this moment more standing in the sort of the very bow, with the wind in his face, as he will close his eyes and trust in his faith that he will not be swept overboard.
I like the consequences for failure here.
About, guys. You cannot be a cleric if you cannot have faith.
If you're
And
swept
so
overboard,
he
it was
will
destined
close his
to
eyes
happen.
and hold his symbol, and declare his allegiance to the ideals of unity, and that these are part of his flock, and that he will not let them. Basically, he will beseech her for aid in aiding his flock and his people, and staying united and staying strong in this endeavor.
Now, remind us all, how does a symbol look? What is it
I
like a
believe
symbol
it has
of?
not been directly described yet,
Oh.
but the idea is that it is 3 geometrical figures inside of a circle
Okay.
to symbolize the 3 different
Shards.
shards being unified.
You can use your key ability modifier, your wisdom modifier, plus your background and level.
All right.
DC 20. Are we gonna roll another low number out on the skill test?
I wouldn't be surprised. No.
Right.
Success!
She.
Alright, as for Aurelia's not so much a supporter, but rather a doer, and being light on her feet and nimble and dexterous, she'll go up in like the riggings and stuff and start just helping by doing things that maybe an injured sailor was supposed to do but can't anymore.
Like what?
Like climbing up somewhere and securing a rope that got loose, or
Hoist the sails.
well, following the commands of the people who know what to do, and then Aurelia can do them because she
Trying
might
to-
not know what to do, but she can follow
Trying to
commands.
determine whether
and-
that should be dexterity modifier or intelligence modifier.
Well, the primary difficulty
Could be both.
would not be understanding what people are trying to say here, but just climbing around in winds and stuff. So I would say dexterity.
oh, okay. The primary difficulty could be like once you're hanging from the rigging to be able to actually follow orders correctly.
Now that's easy.
Oh well, you've convinced me. You can go ahead and use your dexterity modifier plus
All right.
level. DC 20. All right.
Yeah!
There we go. Easy.
With the combined efforts of Jasmine directing the panicked and harried sailors, from Geráck Zold healing and mending the people and setting, like casts for the wounded, for Aranas Vaelduth invoking his goddess in hopes of receiving her blessing so that the ship may be carried to Dragonhall, and by Aurelia so bravely scaling up the rigging, trying to do things she's never really done in her entire life, including listening to other people. You folks
she's done a whole lot of that.
You folks have managed to crush this and have lost no time at all. Harkening back to the days of old, you folks managed to make it to Dragonhall in 3 days.
Jesus.
Silas will stay here knowing how difficult it will be to get back without us.
Yes, these sailors are highly impressed. This is fucking amazing.
Home in Dragonhall now. Never going home.
We're the best captain.
Yes, and yes, 3 days. That travel time has been unheard of basically since before all of this shit started. As the ship, despite everything, pieces itself together, gets some favorable wind, perhaps with a certain blessing, and speeds with as much haste as it can muster for Blue City. Dragonhall itself, the harbor, is heavily decorated with ice, making navigation treacherous at best. Not that much sea travel, really across the entire Dragon Empire, but certainly not to and from here anymore. Once upon a time, many sailors would like to come to and from here. There's a little Dragonhall in every major city across the entire Dragon Empire. But that attitude has certainly changed. Far off in the distance, observing the harbors, the numerous piers as you guide the ship, you can certainly see kobold press gangs roaming the shores, enlisting the aid, you imagine, of numerous sailors. It is something that some of you have eluded in the past. Of far more particular interest, however, would be what's happening in the southeastern portion of Dragonhall. Far ahead, the slender silver tower, which denotes the tower of the Great Silver Worm, looms on the horizon. But it appears as if it is darkened or cracked in a few places, even at this distance. There are winged creatures circling around the top of it, and there are crackles of energy and power that are so prevalent that they're even radiating out kilometers away. It's something that you can see the folks on the shore line actually twisting their attention to stare at. Captain Cullimore will note that he can attempt to steer the ship into the avenue. It is in good enough condition. It'll probably be damaged in the way, but he thinks that he can make it in there and get you folks to the island. Seeing as how you mentioned that's where you're looking to go.
I think it's worth it.
Yes. Now we might be in a hurry.
And they might
Might be
also be
too late.
safer there, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go ahead and... Where is the map? I have so many fucking maps preserved, I can't fucking keep track of this shit anymore. It's great. We go ahead and, we'll say... Make this stuff... Alright. We'll, make this...
Let's make all these dragons invisible. Just a
Yeah,
second.
hold on, give me a few minutes. I gotta make things invisible. Sorry about this, guys. Hold on, I'm totally a professional. I know exactly what I'm doing. I've played many MapTool games in my day. Let me check the visible to players thing to ensure whether... Okay, good, it's all hidden. Fantastic. Everything's A-okay. I have made a new map available. I will copy your tokens to it. There is no need to worry about that. As you approach the island, which you imagine used to be snow and ice covered just like the rest of the place. But as it turns out, the ground is thoroughly covered with scorch marks. You can feel incredible heat radiating from the small island.
And looking around, you can see blood and bodies scattered all over everywhere. Yes. Reaching the shoreline and stepping away from the ice and the water, leaving the vessel behind, you encounter the Silver Tower. This basically is the wall, and this is numerous stories up. So this is basically just like a summary, like an example overview of how it looks. There are bodies littered all over. Some individuals, you imagine, aren't that strong, and then others which might bring chills, traveling across your spines. Like a certain oh no that someone pointed out.
Yeah, I still have that nose somewhere.
Yeah, great magic and power is radiating from the slender tower. And looking up in the distance, high up at the top, you can see two winged figures in particular flying away from the top of the obelisk. They appear to be, they appear to have red scales. They seem like large dragons. And they are flying away from the obelisk. Which is good, because if they had noticed you, then they might turn around.
So, does it look like the tower is being sieged or something? Or
Has it been assaulted multiple
has it
times?
been assaulted? Yeah.
Judging by all these bodies that are scattered around, it does look and suggest as if someone has attacked the tower.
What seems to have killed them?
It seems to be a combination of multiple things, and there's no need for a skill check here. Largely, their bodies have either been rended and ripped apart by claws or blasted by magic.
Looking around, is there anyone who seems to be, like, not dead, but is that unconscious?
You can make a skill check for me, Geráck, to attempt to analyze the conditions of the bodies to determine whether there's anyone who's not dead.
Yeah, it's a case of if we want to, like, stay here and check for that, or if we want to rush up the tower.
I'm gonna just rush up. But...
We also
Well, we
don't
should-
want to be mistaken for assault people.
We should knock respectfully, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
The entrance into the obelisk, which normally doesn't have a door visible, is wide open. Looks like a familiar effect perhaps being seen of someone taking a pebble and fueled by the power of magic, just chucking it right at the obelisk.
Maybe we should hurry up.
Yeah,
I think
let's
we
run.
Yes.
That was kind of a reason I was saying we should just go.
That's just wow.
Geráck
Good
will
thing
be-
we didn't. Good thing we didn't go to Horizon, huh?
We
Good
might
thing
even
you
be
folks
late.
didn't take any extra time.
Nope.
Okay. You four, with great hurry, head into the obelisk, radiating with such powerful magic. Inside the tower are numerous other bodies spread, of goblins and kobolds and ogres and a few giants and even trolls and a dragonkin who've just been ruthlessly gutted apart. Several flights up the stairs of this large tower, you do end up finding the body of someone who does look unmistakably different. Most likely the solitary priestess who watched over this tower and accepted offerings on behalf of the Great Silver Worm. Her name, you might recall, at least Aurelia's character might, was Ulia. She was a priestess. She advocated that any wretch, no matter how deep their depravity or grotesque their form, may attain redemption. And she most certainly has, well, perhaps she has redeemed herself. Cause of death, massive trauma from 1,000 cuts.
Looks like you took quite the toll on the. And again, they're literally in a city of enemies.
Yeah.
I mean,